Okay, I think I am live. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hi, William Terry here, and I'm here to teach a class on how to read a professional screenplay. For those who don't know, a screenplay is also known as a script. It is what a film or television show is based on. Hence screenplay, like stage play. Their scripts are plays, and screenplays are plays written for the screen. So screenplays have a very specific format for professional screenplays, and I am going to hopefully give you a little insight into how to read them and understand them. The main reason I decided to choose this is because screenplays are a lot of fun to read. Because especially if you love film or television, screenplays are it's just a different format, and once you learn how to read the format, it gives you a better appreciation. At least I feel it gives you a better appreciation for the film or television show that you're watching, because you see where it came from and you kind of understand the vision of the author much more clearly. So let's hop into this, shall we? We are going to look at a screenplay here, and if you might recognize what the film that this is from right away. If not, shame on you. No, just kidding. All right, so this is the basic screenplay format. There are several parts to a screenplay format, a standard screenplay format. So I am going to give you guys a headache by scrolling too fast. No, I'm going to scroll to what I feel is a perfect starting point to explain the parts of a screenplay. And then hopefully it'll help you understand a screenplay as a whole. All right, so the first part of a screenplay is that I'm going to show you here is the scene heading. So right here, this is what we call a scene heading. Scene headings explain the location, time of day, and also time in script. So as you can see here, exterior, EXT, explains that you are outside. The location is the galaxy, in this case. To specify the location better from the galaxy, it says the planet Hoth. The planet Hoth gives a more specific location in the galaxy to show people where you are. And here you can see this brings you in a little deeper for the next scene. Anytime that a scene heading changes, you go to a different scene. That's why films have hundreds of scenes, because anytime, so if you are in the exterior of the galaxy and you go into a different part of the exterior, as in this case, exterior Hoth, meteorite crater, still plain day, that is a different scene. And then, of course, the next scene, the plane of Hoth, day, is another scene. These are all exterior scenes. As I said, the scene heading explains not only the location, but the time of day. Here it says day. Pretty self-explanatory. You'll see evening, late at night. However the author of this particular screenplay wants to explain the time of day, it will be explained. But average scripts have the same basic breakdowns. Day, night, evening. Also, as I said earlier, the screen heading explains the time in script. What I mean by time in script is sometimes instead of saying day here, it will say moments later or shortly after. So letting you know that you're in the same location, but some time has passed. Or it might say years later. Oftentimes they don't say years later, but sometimes they do. The reason that they don't often do it is because of the next part of the script, which is the action. Let me just change the highlight color here so you guys will know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this portion here is called the action. it should be called the action description, but they like having punchy words in describing the script, so it's just action. But this is an action description. It explains what you see on the screen. So oftentimes the years later or weeks later portion will be here on the action. The action in this case, in this first set of action, is the Star Destroyer moves through space, releasing Imperial probe robots from its underside. One of these probes zooms towards the planet Hoth and lands on the ice-covered surface. So this explains what is happening. It also leaves room for artist interpretation of the director or the editor or the producer in some cases to really kind of work with it. This is the basic action that will push the scene along. It doesn't necessarily have to go exactly like the action described, though some filmmakers stick directly to the script. It can be moved around. In a later example, you'll see how things are slightly different from the action described in a scene. So yeah, all of these are action descriptions that lead to the bread and butter, the character and the dialogue. So the character, color apropos for this nerdy example, Luke in blue, the character's name comes next. After the character, oftentimes there are what they call extensions to the character, explaining what the character, what situation the character is in, if it is important to the plot. For instance, if Luke in this situation were not on screen, but he were talking, the letters OS would be after Luke, stating that he is off screen. So he is talking and you can hear him, but he is off screen. Those extensions are not to be confused with the parentheticals right here, which explain actions that are occurring specifically to the character speaking during the dialogue. As you can see here, Luke is speaking into his comm link. It is important for the plot, thus it is in the script. Just a little aside, when it comes to screenplay writing, if it's in the script, it needs to be important to the plot. Anything outside of the script is considered artistic license. So if the character has a limp and it's in the script, it needs to be important to the plot. If on set the actor decides, I think this character needs a limp, that happens all the time, but if it's not in the script, that means that it's not important to the plot. For instance, if this is the first time you were ever to see Luke, the character in this film, which it happens to be in the position I picked this screenplay, and it says Luke is limping, then you as an audience member and the filmmaker would also wonder, why is he limping? And of course, a good film would explain why he is limping at a later point. Okay, so after the parentheticals comes the dialogue. The dialogue, obviously, is what is said. Or, in the case of dialogue being spoken by a character off screen, what is heard. And so Luke has his first line, Echo 3 to Echo 7, Hano, buddy, do you read me? So, and then that's it. It just repeats over and over again, every scene. And, you know, obviously you build a story based off of the repeating scene headings, actions, characters, and transitions. Let's see, a little more specific, sorry about the quick scrolling, specific things when it comes to screenplays. Whenever you see a character for the first time in a screenplay, meaning that he or she has not been on screen ever, for the first time, you will, I'm sorry, my computer's acting up. The character's name will be in all caps, stating that this is the first time this character is on screen. I will demonstrate in just a moment with an example I'm going to throw together. But in fact, let me jump into that right now. So this is obviously a screenplay of a script that exists for The Empire Strikes Back. that I wanted to just use to show you what a screenplay format looks like. Now, to expand upon that a little bit, I am going to show you screenplay software. The software that I'm showing you right now is Final Draft. This is the industry standard software. Final Draft is an amazing software for many reasons. First off, it comes with templates for writing screenplays. And second off, it has all of the standard screenplay elements built into the software, so it autofills. As you can see here, I just typed the letter E and exterior pops in. I'm going to switch it up a little bit and change it to interior. Interior, we'll just say William's house, and we'll call it afternoon. So now we have our scene heading. Now, this is the first time you've seen me in the script, so like I said earlier, the rule is to put the name in all caps. Most screenplays, first time you've seen a character, they'll describe the character. I'll give myself a quick description. I'm a teacher teaching screenplays. We'll go with that. Why not? After that, you have to create, jump into some dialogue. We'll say that we'll add my name, and we'll just say that I'm doing a voiceover. As you can see here, VO stands for voiceover. There's also OS for off-screen, OC for off-camera, continued for dialogue that is continuing from a previous scene, or subtitle if you want to explain to people that what is being said is going to be subtitled. And then dialogue. Hello, I'm teaching you. One of the amazing things about this software is, as I said, it pre-fills in information. So say I have another character, we'll just call the character Robot. The robot talks, and then I want to say something to the robot. I just have to hit the letter W, and boom, William shows up as a character name. If I want a robot to show up, I just type the letter R. So that's just a little look into screenwriting software. Final Draft is, as I said, the industry standard. I will put links, or I have put links to Final Draft's webpage on this page on YouTube. Final Draft will run you around $250 for the full program. It's an amazing program as is. I mean, you will be able to get all the updates for the program for free, but obviously when they release a new edition, you have to pay for the new edition. But really, I mean, I've used Final Draft 7, which is, I believe, they're on 11 now, so 4 generations back, for years. And the only reason I upgraded to 11 was I bought a new computer, and 7 was not compatible with it. But upgrading from a previous product is cheaper than buying the full product at $250. I think upgrade was like $100. The student price for Final Draft is $150, so that's not too bad at all. And there are other products as well. There's another software that's getting really popular right now. It's called Fade In Pro. It does the same things as Final Draft, and it's only $80. They're a smaller company, so they're selling their product for cheaper, but huge movies like Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and the new Venom movie, those were all written on that software. So it's an amazing software. Like I said, it runs around $80. And then if you just are interested in writing screenplays or having some fun, there are free softwares out there. The one that I've used is called Celtics. And it's just a cloud-based online software program for writing screenplays. And I've put links to all of these softwares in the description for this lesson. Okay, so I've explained how to read a screenplay, the pieces of a screenplay. Now I'm going to actually jump on to a YouTube video that that shows you exactly what happens script to screen with a screenplay. This is a scene, coincidentally, from Star Wars The Last Jedi. I chose it because it shows almost all the screen elements that we've discussed within the scene. I'll only show about a minute of it because YouTube will tell me that I'm stealing copyrighted information, even though this video is on YouTube, which I find interesting. But so let's make this bad boy full screen, and will watch it, and as you'll see on the bottom, the screenplay is on the bottom, and on the top are the actions that happen in the actual film. And I think that you'll see it's pretty parallel and pretty fun to watch. So here we go.
Fleet! Order them to stop firing. There's still time to save the fleet.
It's time to let old things die. Snoke, Skywalker, the Sith, the Jedi, the Rebels. Let it all die. Right.
All right, I'm starting to get warnings from YouTube saying that I'm stealing copyrighted information, which is, once again, like I said, funny because this is a video from YouTube. But let me bring myself back up. And there we are. Okay. So I've given you the basics of how to read a screenplay. Also shown you a little bit how you can actually write a screenplay with Screenplay software. As I said, the links are below. If you're interested in reading screenplays, I do have a link also in the description to my favorite website for finding screenplays. I think it's just called Simply Screenplays. It's a great website. I just have it bookmarked on my computer. I'm not used to going live, but if anyone has any questions, please feel free to type away right now, and I will try to answer before I have to go pick up my kids. So does anyone have any questions? Okay, I think there's a slight delay, possibly, but if there aren't any questions right now, I am more than happy to answer any questions. You can contact me via email, or you can contact me on YouTube here. Oh, okay, that's a great question. So I am actually streaming via a third-party streaming device called, hold on, let me get this right, an OBS. It's a free downloadable software, and I use the OBS software to stream online, and you get tons of control. I set up a couple of different things. I set up a full frame screen and then a small screen that records me while I've got my main screen going. It's pretty cool. It's a great software. It's just O as in Oscar, B as in boy, S as in Sam, OBS streaming software. I got it online. Like I said, it's free. I have a Mac. I think it works on PC and Linux. And basically, it works with any streaming service. I had it on Twitch first, but I liked YouTube. I found it easier to use because Twitch was kind of confusing for me. So that's what I used. I highly recommend it. You don't need too much computer knowledge to use it. So. Thank you so much. Yeah, I learned something new doing this as well. I really wanted to do the split screen situation, and so I did a ton of research trying to figure out how to do it because I'd seen it on live things that I'd done before. And like I said, you can add several. If I had multiple cameras hooked up to me, I could add them, and then I could change angles. I can't really change angles, but as you can see, I have 2 screens now of the same camera. If I had another camera to my right, say, which now that I know how to do, if I were to live stream again, I probably would do it. I could totally do that. So yeah, those are the basics. I'm looking at my time. I'm gonna have to leave to be with family, but I'm glad that some people got to watch this live. I hope it was interesting. Yeah, and have a wonderful day. Anybody who wants more information on OBS, email me. The information is obviously on Beachboard to get me. It was a pleasure. Talk to you guys later.